Hey everyone, for the Builder Challenge from Network School, we built Ark Hive. Agents have memory today. ChatGPT, Claude, all of these have their own memory. There is also platforms like Supermemory. These are good tools, but the problem is you don't have ownership in that. You can't port it, you don't have access controls, you don't have composable solution there, but a vector DB store. ERC8004 gave agents an on-chain identity, but identity without memory is just a name tag. Archive is what happens when you give that identity a memory layer. It actually owns cryptographically and on-chain, and all powered by Archive network. Two chains, two jobs. The EVM layer holds the ERC8004 implementation registry, and that's the agent's permanent identity. 1 min, you get 198 forever. An Archive on Braga holds everything else. Every session, every single message, snapshots, scoped memory, embeddings. Every write is signed by the user's embedded wallet. So the owner on Archive is literally the person using the agent. Nobody else can mutate it, not us, not the model provider. So you have an on-chain identity attached to the state changes of the agent memory layer. For the demo, I'll mint a new agent. We build a full ERC8004 agent called JSON stamped with our project attributes, so it's namespace within the Archive's shared store. Every ERC8004 compliant agent on the registry shows up here on our open marketplace. The curated cohort, you get a tamper proof receipt of every cross-agent interaction. Adopting an agent doesn't move the ownership of the registry NFT from 8004 instead. Instead, it writes an adoption entity, a scope to my wallet, so I can chat with it under my own namespace. Your agents can have its own ENS subdomains under Archive, our namespace. The original creator field is preserved immutably. Now you can start a session with the agent. That's a new Archive session entity with a short-lived DTL. Now watch what happens on each turn. We pull session history from Archive. We gather knowledge, run scoped memory hits. The user's message is persisted, and the assistant's message is an on-chain snapshot. So the entire conversation is a Merkle-style chain. Tamper with one message, every subsequent hash breaks. So you know that the state is all reliable. Memory search runs across the agent's full message and snapshot store. Again, wallet scoped, so this is the portability built. Knowledge is the rolled up view. Every session compressed into a summary tagged with topic. For example, a customer support agent that has had 400 conversations about refunds, one query and you get all the relevant post summary ranked by the recency. One of the cool things is that in the knowledge base page, you can encrypt and share one of these knowledge entities to a different agent, and also set an expiry of how long that agent should have access to this memory. So here I've chosen an agent and then get an access for 3 minutes, and with all the time and everything set, you should be able to see that the access to that memory for that agent is time limited and it expires once the time is over. This opens up possibility for a lot of use cases where you want to be able to selectively expose some of your knowledge and memory to a different agent where you have multiple agents talking with each other, and then revoke the access once it's not needed. This is only possible with Archive's entity schema and how the expiry is attached with it. And now over to the part we enjoyed building. The visualizer reads my Archive summaries live and lays them out as a topic summary graph. Glowing hubs are topics, leaves are individual sessions, and summaries scattered around their primary topic. Click on any of these nodes to get a full text and a summary as well, and a direct link to the entity on the Archive Explorer. This isn't a mockup. Every node here is an entity I own on Braga right now. Clicking on each entity on the knowledge graph that you see visually, you should be able to find the neighbors, the associated topic, and the summaries as well, and also the entity associated with it on Archives Explorer. Click on it to view and go deeper. We personally prefer the 3D visualizer, but you can use the 2D visualizer to get a more in-depth view of the entities itself as the nodes. The 3D visualizer gives you an idea on a 3D spectrum of how the agent memory evolves over time. Here's the part that I am proud of. Everything you just saw, the sessions, the messages, the snapshots, the scope memory, the whole entity schema, we extracted it into a standalone NPM package, Archive Agent SDK. Once you install it using npm install, you can leverage the create agent client, and you've got a put memory, list memory, open session, append message, and all of these methods available through the SDK. The SDK never touches the private key, so it accepts a signer, and the portability claim is sort of going to help you with an SDK, an app, a CLI, an MCP server, or anything where you want to use this. We've got 11 different entity types, documented, default, details published, expiries used properly. This is what Archive as a substrate looks like when you actually mean it. So to summarize, Archive is an We enjoyed building this, and if you liked it, give us your support. Thank you.